5 years ago, nasa Europe ako, pero I wasn't living my best life. I was clearing tables, polishing cutleries, working long hours, barely eating, just to bring home 200 euros per month. At that point, gusto ko na talagang umuwi ng Pilipinas kasi what's the point? Ang baba ng kinikita ko, malayo ako sa pamilya ko, tapos meron pang pandemic. Until one day, I woke up and I said, nope, hindi pwedeng ito na yun. Hindi pwedeng I left my life in Manila and Dubai para lang umuwi ng zero balance. I needed to stop living from paycheck to paycheck and make the most out of my stay in Europe. And because of that decision, slowly but surely, I started to break free from that cycle. So today, I want to share with you the exact steps that I took para makaalis dun sa paycheck to paycheck cycle na yon and how you can do it too. If you're new here, my name is Jane, and in this channel, I talk about personal finance and simple money habits. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1 is to set a goal. And hindi lang yung goal na gusto ko yumaman or gusto ko maging billionaire. If there's one thing I learned as a marketing girly, dapat maging smart ka sa pagpili ng goals mo. And yung SMART, acronym siya for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Back then, ang goal ko is not to be rich. Ang goal ko is makaipon ng 1,000 euros in 6 months para makabili ako ng ticket pa uwi ng Pilipinas nang walang utang. Now, that goal gave me a clear target, something I can plan for, work on, and measure. Kasi kapag hindi ka lang basta nagsulat ng goal at specific ka, alam mo kung hanggang kailan ka kailangan mag-ipon, magkano dapat ang maipon mo, your mindset changes and suddenly nakikita mo kung ano yung purpose ng mga desisyon na ginagawa mo kahit na maliit lang siya. For example now, hindi ka bumili ng kape sa Starbucks pero hindi yun dahil dinedeprive mo yung sarili mo. Yun ay dahil yung 150 pesos na yun, pwede mo siyang gamitin to be a step closer to your goal. Kasi if you don't set a specific goal, dalawa lang ang pwede mangyari. Either wala kang makitang progress months from now, or may makita kang ang progress pero panghihinaan ka ng loob kasi wala kang senet na date, so hindi mo alam kung hanggang kailan mo gagawin yon. At least, kapag meron kang time frame, alam mo kung hanggang kailan mo lang siya gagawin, magkano yung goal mo, may magpupush sa'yo to stay on track. Hindi mo maiisip na, naku, wala naman nangyayari dun sa ginagawa ko. Instead, ang maiisip mo, 4 months na lang, marireach mo na yung goal mo. Another thing, I'm a firm believer na mas effective ang isang goal kapag sinusulat mo siya, rather than just creating a mental note na pwedeng bukas makalimutan mo. For me, ang ginagawa ko, sinusulat ko siya sa journal ko kasi ina-update ko yon every morning. So, meron akong constant reminder kung bakit kailangan ko gumising ng maaga, mag-workout, at gawin lahat ng ginagawa ko araw-araw. If wala kayong journal, that's okay. You can just write your goals sa post-it note and then idikit nyo lang siya somewhere na lagi nyo makikita. Pwedeng sa cabinet, sa salamin, or lagay nyo lang siya sa wallet ninyo. If you wanna take this to the next level, what you can do is to assign an accountability partner na magre-remind sa inyo na, hey, ito yung goal mo, ano na nangyari, ano na progress natin. Pwedeng best friend mo, asawa, or magulang. Kung ayaw mo naman sabihin sa mga kakilala mo yung goal mo, you can use this channel as your accountability partner. All you have to do is write down your goals in the comment section. Number 2, I had to face the truth about my spending. At the time, maliit lang naman yung kinikita ko sa abroad, so I had to use my savings talaga to support my lifestyle. Kaya kailangan ko mas maging careful sa expenses ko. Pero when I started tracking my expenses and budgeting, everything changed, everything improved. I used to think na ang budgeting, ang pagtatrack ng expenses ay para lang dun sa mga tao na magaling sa pera, magaling sa math, marunong sa numbers. Pero ang totoo, mas kailangan pala natin siya, tayong mga hindi magaling sa pera, and tayong mga gustong maging better with money. At first, medyo nakakatamad siya gawin kasi sino nga ba naman ang gusto na maglista ng mga gastusin nila everyday. Pero at the end of the month, kapag meron ka ng enough data to review kung saan talaga napupunta yung mga ginagastos mo, you'll also have a better understanding kung bakit importante itong step na to at kung bakit kailangan mo siyang gawin. Kasi after mo i-review lahat ng expenses mo, kahit gaano pa siya kasakit tingnan, next month you'll feel more in control of your finances. Number 3, I started building a small emergency fund. Nung medyo naka-recover na ako financially, nung wala na akong utang, I started building my emergency fund. Kasi ayoko na magkautang ulit. Gusto ko kapag nagka-emergency ako, magkasakit man ako, or mawalan ulit ako ng trabaho, at least meron akong pagkukunan at hindi ko nang kailangan humiram sa kapatid ko or sa mga kakilala ko. Sabi nila, dapat daw meron kang 6 months worth ng emergency fund. So let's say, ang gastos mo every month is 10,000 pesos. Times 6 mo yun yung kailangan mong emergency fund. Pero I feel like marami kasi sa atin na pressure na kailangan magkaroon ako ng 60,000 pesos. But you can always start small. Pwedeng mag-ipon ka lang ng 1,000 every month until eventually ma-reach mo yung goal mo. Ang importante is to build the habit of saving at kahit papano every month meron kang natatabi. Also, I learned na depende pala yan sa lifestyle mo. Kung single ka naman at wala kang dependents, you can just have a 3 months worth emergency fund. However, kung meron kang pamilya na nakadepende sa'yo, it's much better na meron kayong 6 months worth ng emergency fund. Number 4, I paid myself first. Dati ang formula ko, sweldo, bills, renta, luho, and then saka pa lang ako magsisave. Ngayon, baliktad na siya. Inuuna ko na yung savings kahit na 10% lang. At least, sure ako na every month meron akong natatabi. If nahihirapan kayo na maging consistent sa pagsisave, you can always automate it. I created a video about it. You can watch it here or ililink ko siya sa description box below. Step 5, I avoided lifestyle inflation. So I'm so glad na kahit na medyo naging okay na yung finances ko, hindi ako nagpa-pressure na mag-keep up sa lifestyle ng mga friend ko na nakakaangat-angat. I am happy for them na na-enjoy nila yung fruits ng kanilang labor. Pero I have a different way of handling things. And I'm so glad na ito yung path na tinake ko. Kasi ako lang yata yung nag-abroad na walang kahit anong naiuwing branded items. Kasi nung nasa Malta ako, naaalala ko na yung mga kaibigan ko kapag nagpunta ng Italy yung mga yan, pag uwi, ang daming branded clothes, branded shoes, branded bags, pabango. Pero ako, pag nagpupunta ako doon, hindi ko makuha yung sarili ko na bumili nitong mga branded items na to kasi nanghihinayang talaga ako doon sa pera. So now, kapag tinignan mo yung closet ko, lahat ng yan, ang pinakamahal na makikita mo ay Uniqlo. Wala talaga akong mga branded items. Again, quick disclaimer, I have nothing against it. If you have the money for it, then go buy that product. However, kung inaayos mo pa lang ang iyong finances, medyo marami pa tayong utang, at gusto pa natin i-improve kung paano natin ina-organize yung ating budget, then it's much better to live below your means. Ang i-upgrade muna natin yung ating goals bago tayo bumili ng mga bagay na mag-a-add lang ng pressure sa buhay natin or ng unnecessary stress. Lastly, ito na po yung step na ginagawa ko ngayon. I am trying to grow my income. So, nung nakapag-build na ako ng better money habits, nakakapag-track na ako ng expenses, nagsisave na ako, I started growing my income. Kasi kahit gano'ng kakatipid, kahit years ka na nag-frugal living, there's only so much you can cut. May limitasyon kung ano lang yung matitipid mo. But your income, that can grow indefinitely. So, nung medyo okay na ako sa abroad, I started learning about content creation, editing, social media, because I wanted to use those skills to build more income streams. During the pandemic kasi, ang dami kong kakilala na nawala ng trabaho, including myself. And na-realize ko na gano'n lang pala kadali yun kapag sinabi sa'yo ng company na wala ka ng work, isang meeting lang, wala ka ng work. Kahit gaano ka nakatagal dun sa company na yun, they have the last say kung kailan ka last na sasahod. For me, ayoko na mangyari ulit yun sa sarili ko. So, I had to build additional income streams. So, to summarize, you have to set a goal, track your expenses, build an emergency fund, pay yourself first, avoid lifestyle inflation, and then start growing your income. I'm not here to tell you to follow those exact steps and to live perfectly. I'm here to remind you that small changes can actually change your life. If this video helped you in some way, then give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a little financial encouragement today. That's it for today. Ciao!